Congrats to the Detroit Lions for advancing to the NFC Championship game. The Cowboys were one of two teams that have not made the NFC Championship game in the last 25 to 30 years. The other being our division rival, Washington. And it is what it is. The Detroit Lions, they fought hard this year. Dan Campbell is one heck of a coach. They're a great football team. And no matter what happens to them next week, the Detroit Lions deserve this. They've been waiting for a long time to have this success. They've been waiting for a long time to get to this level. But so has us as Cowboy fans. I've been a Cowboys fan for a long time. Mid-20s, been a fan since 2008, since I was a kid. And I haven't seen us do anything more than win 4 playoff games, 09, 14, 18, and 22. And it is what it is. I accept that the Dallas Cowboys are nothing more than a mediocre franchise. It is what it is. Boycotting and doing all this stuff is not going to change anything, because there's still going to be enough haters and people that like the Cowboys to where they're still going to get revenue every single year. And that's just the way it is. So, again, congrats to Detroit, man. They deserve it. They're a better team than we are, clearly. And everybody's better than we are, except for Washington. And honestly, the way that Washington's going right now, they're going to be better than us. I don't know when the Cowboys are going to win. I'm sure eventually we'll get lucky and we'll somehow get in there, but we'll be the last team to do it. I do believe Washington will make it before we do. And the reason why is because they have a new general manager, and they actually did something to change the course of their franchise history. The Cowboys, we've done nothing to change the trajectory. We're keeping the trajectory exactly the same as it was beforehand, and it is what it is. But hey, as a diehard fan, you got to support the team. You don't got to wear merch. You don't got to go out there and watch, and pay for tickets and stuff like that, but you got to support the team. I know everybody's like, oh, we won't win with Jerry, but, Jerry Jones is 81 years old. He's not going to live forever. So eventually it's going to come around. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's not going to be anytime soon. And it sucks, but you know what I mean? We got to change as a fan base too. We can't we can't keep, doing what we're doing. We got to change and all that good stuff. So that's my thoughts and opinion about it. Cowboy Nation. I'm a Cowboy fan until I die at the end of the day, but at the same time, I understand that, we ain't going to win nothing in a long time. It's going to be a minute before we do anything special. It's going to be a minute before we get to the NFC Championship game. It just is. And the reason why is this team is mentally weak. They can't handle the big pressure moments, and other teams can, but we can't, because, we are who we are. And I love the Dallas Cowboys, and I'll always be a fan, but I hate being a fan because I get made fun of for no reason. It's like I have nothing to do with the Cowboys being named America's team. That was a label given to us in the 1970s by Steve Sable, who's been dead for over a decade now. I have no control over that. So, it is what it is. Part of being a fan is you got to be with the team through the good and bad times, and we've unfortunately been through mediocre and bad times for the last 30 years, which has been, more than my whole life. And it's something that's hard to deal with. It's something that I'm not a fan of dealing with, but you have to deal with it. It's a part of life, but you can't allow a football team, a sports team, to dictate how your life goes. You can't allow a football team, you can't allow a sports team or of any kind to, control your mental health. I was depressed for this, whole last week, man. When the Cowboys blew that game against Green Bay, I was depressed. I felt like crap the whole week. It really brought me down. And there's got to be changes. You can't allow any sports team to do that to you. It's pathetic. And it's it's hard being a Cowboys fan. You can't call me a bandwagon fan. You can't say that I don't have passion for the team when we haven't done more than win 4 or 5 playoff games in the last, 30 years. You can't. I'll ride and die with this team. I'm not going to, I'm going to support the team, but I'm not going to be blind to the nonsense and, thinking we have a chance to do something every year because, I know what to expect now. Just watch the games, root for the team, hope for the best, expect the worst. And that's, you can never go wrong. And, yeah, I'll just got to say this, cope. It's cope, yeah, it's cope. Cowboys for life, man. Congrats again to the Detroit Lions. Y'all deserve it, man. Being a Cowboys fan is hard. It's probably the hardest thing you have to deal with as a fan is being a fan of this team. So anybody that's like me that's has been following the team, shout out to you. And Cowboys for life. That's all I gotta say. Catch y'all later. Peace.